Okay. This is going to be a fucking huge reading. I just know it straight away. So I decided to do something different today, and I decided to pull 3 cards from my Wild Woman Oracle. And in the book, it has, like, you know how Oracle and Tarot decks, they have like a, you know, like a card spread to do. I was looking through it the other day. 3-card divination. It's called situation, action, and outcome. So the first card is a situation that needs attention or resolution right now. The second card is the action you need to take. And the third card is the likely outcome if the action is taken. And as I'm shuffling this, straight away, I see this, like, billy goat in my... This is so fucking random, but stay with me. This billy goat in my mind, and straight away, like, when I realized it, like, when I channeled that image, I was like, what the fuck? And then straight after that, I saw the scene in Sound of Music where they're doing, like, the puppeting of the goats, and straight away I heard, high on a hill was a lonely goat, lay. Oh my god. And then, okay, so that's just fun and whatever. So this is definitely linked to inner child stuff, but straight after I heard that saw that scene in the movie, heard that song, straight away Spirit was like, indoctrination. And I'm like, what? What do you mean indoctrination? And I might be, like, telling on my, like, not to, like, dox my life or anything, but Spirit's wanting me to show up this way. That's just how it is. Indoctrination from childhood, even when it came to things that you enjoyed, things that you loved, things that you became obsessed with as a child. You know how, like, as a child, like, you have your obsessions, and if you're a neurodivergent person, those hyperfixations and special interests, like, those obsessions become hyperfixations and special interests. So it's like tenfold, really, the energy. And let me just make that a little bit brighter. So there's something here about the indoctrination of, like, you were being indoctrinated as you were just being a kid and enjoying the things that you enjoyed. I literally saw this, like, scenario play out in my mind as this is all playing out in real time, like boom, 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 of, like, me witnessing and experiencing that part of the movie for the first time, and me just being like, I don't know, I must have, like, been, like, loved it or just been really into it, and something about my mother indoctrinating me in that moment. So I don't necessarily know if that's something for me to explore. I don't feel it. I don't feel like that specific thing, it was more like a Spirit used that as an example for the energies that is coming up in the reading today. So there's something about being, like, indoctrinated, and as a child, even through your interests or through your talents or through your skills, just even like I feel like I was around maybe 4, 5, or 6. Yeah, maybe 4, because I remember the childhood home that I was in, watching that for the first time. And it was in the childhood home that I lived in when I was 4. I don't know, something about being 4 years old, okay? So as I turned over the first card, which is the situation that needs, I always forget this, the situation that needs attention or resolution right now. As I turned that over, that's when I got indoctrination, and it's the feminine energy card, a moonlit dance. So it's like the situation at hand here, if this is resonating with you, the situation here is saying that, like, your sense of feminine energy, whether you are, no matter how you identify, right? We all know this by now. If you're on a spiritual path, you understand that feminine energy and masculine energy are sources of energy, that they're not actually tied to gender or ways of, the biology and like identifying and things like that. So you can identify however you identify, but the masculine and feminine energy is symbolic, is what I'm trying to say. It's like you can tie something as masculine or feminine energy to certain things, not necessarily doing things. It's like the other way around, like masculine and feminine. I don't know why I'm going into this, but I am. Masculine and feminine energy existed, and then society, the world, humans applied gender to those, okay? When masculine and feminine energy is a it's a duality, right? It's not one or the other. I don't know why that was necessary, but it was. So there's something about your feminine energy not being allowed, and feminine energy is very closely related to a sense of creativity, okay? There's something about your creativity, or just you, even as if you are like an AFAB, woman, or even just someone who identifies as, a female, okay? Or identifies as feminine. Spirit's saying, regardless of how you identify, there's something about your feminine energy that you were not able to develop naturally, hence the indoctrination. Something about your creativity, something about there's something here about your femininity, your feminine energy that wasn't able to develop correctly or properly. It didn't have a chance of developing naturally. Naturally is the word, Spirit is saying, naturally. Because of indoctrination. However that means to you. And it's not necessarily, indoctrination in this context isn't necessarily tied to religion, although for a lot of you it is going to be. But it's just, indoctrination is like when you, I can't describe, I don't know off the top of my head, I can't describe the definition of indoctrination, but the energy that I'm getting from this sense of like indoctrination is like your parents or your primary caregivers or just influential people around you, when you are when you're a minor, when you are a child, when you are developing, and people are telling you what's what, you are learning, and people are teaching you things. There's something about what you were taught around your creativity. Oh my God. And this is so tied into yesterday's message. If you sat through that reading yesterday, this is a Spirit's like, we couldn't give you all of the information because I felt like there was more that I just wasn't really reaching or grasping, and then it started to elude me. If you watch that video, you would have seen me going, okay, Spirit, like, help me piece this puzzle. Okay, and there's something that's just triggered a memory of me watching. There was a reading I was watching yesterday. Something about a puzzle piece, an understanding. I can't remember which reading it was, but I feel like this is that puzzle piece. So you have been indoctrinated around your sense of creativity, around your sense of femininity, your feminine energy, your sense of self, from as young as like 4 years old. From as young as you were able to comprehend things and learn things, like you were being indoctrinated in a specific way, okay? And as a result of that, your feminine energy, your creativity, your sense of self wasn't able to develop naturally, okay? So this is like the main situation here, okay? I am going to go in with tarot as well, but I want to get like the basis of what this reading is going to be about. So that's the situation that needs attention or resolution right now. So Spirit's like, okay, this is the theme. Let's dig in. Card 2 is the action you need to take. Ferocious femininity. Are you kidding me? Bastet and Sekhmet. Okay, so the situation, this is like, blows my fucking mind. Okay, so the situation that needs addressing right now, or needs resolution, is feminine energy, okay? And the action that needs to be taken is ferocious femininity. This is about taking back your power, okay? Taking back your power and your sovereignty. This has been the theme for the last week. And these readings have been based around how we do that. I'm going to read out the 2 cards. So the first card, Feminine Energy, a Moonlit Dance. And your feminine energy is determined by you. As an individual, every person's feminine energy is determined by them. And for what a lot of us don't realize is a lot of us have been indoctrinated from a very, very young age, as early, from as young as we started learning to talk, even. Some as early as 2 and 3 years old, okay? But mainly, I think the 4-year mark is when, like, a 4-year-old is able to really start grasping concepts. You start really teaching them from teaching a 4-year-old or teaching a child becomes more involved the older the child gets, obviously, but I feel like around that 4 years there's something about when they're a sponge, something about their mind is a sponge and they're learning everything very, very, very quickly. But for some of you, this is happening as early as 2 and 3. But this indoctrination started to really take root around the 4-year mark, okay? And this is where I'm hearing your femininity or your feminine energy was hijacked. It's very complex and it's very deep. And although it's like, it's a sacred thing, feminine energy, and for that to be hijacked or stunted or molded and not being given to you for it to not be allowed to develop naturally is a really sad and disappointing thing. It's a tragedy. I'm hearing it's a tragedy. That's literally what I'm hearing in my mind. Feels very dramatic to me, but Spirit's wanting to reiterate, like, it's a tragedy. It's happening too much. It's too common. I'm hearing the spirit guides are very, very loud with this, and I don't know where I was going with that now. It's gone. Okay. So I'm going to read it. What activities personally make me feel most connected to my feminine energy? Now, what does that mean? When we think of feminine energy, we think of like, oh, feeling pretty, makeup, hair. And for a lot of you that's true, but it's not all that it is. What is feminine energy to you? That's a question for you to consider this week. The message says, this is a sign that you need to connect with your divine feminine energy, whether it be dancing, listening to music, walking barefoot on Mother Earth, reading a good book, working creatively with your hands, or bonding and laughing with your girlfriends in sacred sisterhood. Dedicate some time to connect with your own feminine energy in the way you feel most called. For a lot of us, this is going to be conducting ourselves with a sense of freedom. What that could look like is allowing. It's permissive, not submissive, permissive. Giving yourself permission, allowing yourself to, giving yourself permission to, allowing yourself to. Fill in the blank, right? As women, right, or not, existing, but this is specifically talking to the experience of being a woman, even non-AFAB women, right? The human experience of a woman perceived, a woman, right? Existing in our feminine energy in the modern world can be difficult, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. Many of us operate in a very masculine way in our everyday lives. We are immensely busy, adhering to strict schedules and deadlines, striving to accomplish long-term entrepreneurial goals, and completing day-to-day responsibilities such as cleaning, caring for children or loved ones, and paying the bills. As modern women, we are blessed to have the independence and opportunities that our ancestors, even our grandmothers, could only dream of. But with every great stride in progress, valuable elements may be lost, in this case, the vital qualities of the feminine. So the symbolism of this card: upon feeling a powerful surge of feminine energy rush through her body, this spirited woman and her playful fox companion dance joyfully in an enchanted forest under a bewitchingly radiant full moon. Feeling the earth beneath her feet, she connects with its sacred feminine energy and, although perhaps only for a few fleeting moments, becomes extremely present and enraptured in the mysterious, untamable essence of the divine feminine, the exact food her soul needs. For a lot of you, this isn't something that this exact thing you need. For some of you, it may be. You'll know, like, whether you're called to that or not. For others of you, this energy of just allowing. I'm going to read ferocious femininity, so the action that needs to be taken. Okay. Where is it? Do I suppress qualities I deem unfeminine or even too feminine? And if so, how can I begin to shape a more dynamic and unrestrained view of femininity that is unique to me? So that's a good prompt, food for thought. The message is: our patriarchal society does not promote a femininity that is at once gentle, strong, domestic and wild, humble and confident. Bastet and Sekhmet remind you that you are multifaceted and dynamic, and your true feminine power cannot be caged or fitted into a neatly defined box. The indoctrination. Whatever, and I'm getting from spirit, this indoctrination, whatever it is for you, is so deeply rooted and shoved down. It's part of your okay, for some reason they're giving me like the beginning stages of coding AI. Okay, this is random, but it's like the beginning stages of coding, the very framework of something. This is what this indoctrination is in your psyche, in your brain, because it happened so early on in your childhood. Okay, it has shaped you. Some of you may feel heavy upon hearing that. Awareness is an amazing thing. When you become aware of something, you have power over it. So being aware, especially if this is just resonating, if and resonance doesn't have to be, it can be, but it doesn't have to be chills or crying or it exactly matching. It can be, what I'm saying is making sense to you. It makes a lot of sense to you. Okay? Even if it's not something you're actively going through right now, if what I'm saying makes sense and you are tuned into what I'm saying, you are focused on what I'm saying, your mind isn't wandering. I know someone who has ADHD, when I find myself focused on something someone's saying and actively listening, I know that it's resonating with me on some level, even if I'm not consciously aware of what it is that's resonating. The fact that I'm able to follow along and that I am present in what's being said by the other person, it's resonating on some level. It's going somewhere. It's being taken in, okay? So this is about really understanding, the action needing to be taken is about really understanding that you have been indoctrinated from a very, very early age around your feminine energy, around your creativity, whatever feminine energy this is for you. For some of you, this is going to be very simple and straightforward, and it is just talking about your overall sense of femininity. For others of you, it's going to be something that is tied to a feminine type of energy. So it could be your creativity. It could be maybe you're a mother. It could be, maybe it's as simple as, you know, feeling like you're not allowed to be girly. Whatever this is for you, I want to read that one line again. Listen to this whole message again. Our patriarchal society does not promote a femininity that is at once, meaning at the same time, gentle and strong, domestic and wild, humble yet confident. That is so true. But feminine energy is all of those things. Feminine energy is gentle and it is strong. It is domestic and it is wild and it's free. It's humble and it's confident. Your true feminine power cannot be caged or fitted into a neatly defined, indoctrinated box. The last card is the likely outcome if the action is taken. It is creativity. Are you fucking seeing these? I didn't look at these. They fell out and I was like, oh, that's 3 cards. I'll use them. Creativity. This has a lot to do with creativity. And if this wasn't resonating for you in the way of speaking directly about your sense of creativity, don't worry. Creativity is inherently feminine. So, feminine energy, I mean. Creativity isn't just limited to the arts. Creativity is in the mind. It's in the body. It's in the way you make decisions. It's in the way you think. It's in the way you speak. It's in the way you socialize and interact with others. It's in the way you live your life. Anything that is linked to a decision, anything that is linked to a choice is creative energy. You are creating something with every decision you make, every choice you make. And as a result, if you follow this, you will be undoing that indoctrination, that deep-seated programming that is holding you back, that wasn't allowing things to grow, evolve naturally. Let's read that card. What creative idea or dream is ready to be nurtured and birthed into being? That's another thing, a dream, a goal, an aspiration. Whatever you envision for yourself. Anytime that you daydream, anytime that you think of something or you imagine something, that's creative energy. So it doesn't have to just be around what we think of as creativity, okay? The message: regardless of the physical stage of life you are in, the Creatrix invites you to get your creative juices flowing, whether through writing, painting, music, gardening, or beyond. While maintaining the childlike wonder of your maidenhood, she invites you to step into your full motherly feminine power. This is crazy. This is crazy. To turn your airy, idealistic, and hopeful dreams into earthy material abundance. The key to this is understanding the indoctrination. You don't have to understand all the ways you're indoctrinated. You don't have to be able to think of an example of how you were indoctrinated. You just have to know that, okay, I've been indoctrinated from a very, very young age when it comes to the way I sing, the way I dance, the way I dream, the way I theorize, the way I philosophize, the way I think, the way I speak, the way I imagine, even your imagination, okay? Your sense of imagination, especially at 4 years old as a child, Spirit's saying even that has been indoctrinated. Your sense of imagination has been indoctrinated, and it wasn't allowed to evolve the way that it naturally would have. Some of it, yes, but most of it was influenced, heavily influenced, indoctrinated. Inspired by the Empress card in the tarot, the epitome of the mother archetype, Mother Goddess and Mother Earth herself, this woman is activating her creativity on a moonlit night. Creativity in itself is a form of magic, as it manifests an inspired idea, thought, or image from our mind's eye into the physical plane. That's crazy, because I've never actually read this card. I've maybe used this deck, I wouldn't even say 10 times. So I don't know what I'm reading. The symbolism is, while the triple goddess aspects of maiden, mother, and crone are often associated with the actual physiological stages of a woman's body, these stages are also metaphorical and physiological. It's interesting that I said physiological because it says psychological. I understand it's easy to get that confused, but I'm a pretty good reader, so it's really interesting that I mixed that up. This young woman is on the cusp, both physically and spiritually, of transforming from the maiden to the mother. As a previously wide-eyed, lively, and curious maiden, she stands at the threshold of becoming the creative, abundant, fertile, and immensely powerful mother who courageously risks and sacrifices herself to bring new life into the world. Whether this be a career, passion project, or birthing an actual child. Like the little spider weaving her web, the maiden is about to weave the magical web of her own destiny and become the powerful mother, empress, and creatrix she is meant to be. This is fucking powerful. Like, actually powerful. The way it said, the situation is around your feminine energy. The action to take is to engage, reclaim your ferocious femininity by remembering, well, first of all, no, not by remembering, by realizing what's happened and then going, okay, I am a multifaceted human being. I'm dynamic. I can be this and that in many different ways. The outcome is blessings, abundance, manifestations, dreams unfolding, wishes coming true. Because you've broken free of the binds that were intentionally or unintentionally put upon you since you were 4 years old. Let me know in the comments how long it's been since you were 4 years old. It's been 23 years for me. 24 years for me. I'm turning 28 this year. What a burden. A burden that you did not even know you had because it started so young. All right, let's get some tarot. We're already 30 minutes into this reading, but let's see. This is just the surface. I'm excited for this reading. This is such a beautiful and positive reading, but also not just positive and like sunshine and rainbows and oh yes, abundance, oh yes, you're getting what you want. It's like practical steps or practical, getting a practical overview of, you know, if you're part of this collective or if you're resonating with this, Spirit's like, hey, this is what's going on, and hey, this is actually a very specific and key part of your blockages and your growth and what you have been trying so hard to bring about your whole life since you were such a young age. And it's interesting because a lot of you are dreamers. You've always been dreamers. And Spirit's saying it's not that Spirit's like saying, I'm not saying that you weren't allowed to dream, because for many, I would say more than half of you that are going to resonate with this message, more than half of you were encouraged to dream. More than half of you, your parents or caregivers or whoever, authority figures around you, encouraged you to dream, encouraged you to be creative and to follow your dreams. That was something that was so drummed into your head from such a young age. As soon as you started being able to have an imagination or to be able to wonder about what you want to be when you grow up, you have been encouraged. But there's something about the way in which, or the things that were attached to that encouragement, that was indoctrination. And in the same breath, the people that encouraged you and cheered you on and encouraged you to dream, in the same breath, they also... Okay, that's really interesting. Spirit is literally showing me a parent saying, dangling a carrot in front of you, and the carrot is symbolic of the dream or the thing you want, and going, hey, look at this. And you're going, oh my goodness, wow. You're both going, yeah, look at this. You can have this. You can do this. This is so possible for you to do this, have this, achieve this. This is what's waiting for you. What's the but? Spirit, what's the but? How does the rest of this analogy work? But in the same breath, so they're dangling the carrot, and you're going, oh, okay, let me go and get it. Let me have it. And they're going, no, you can't have it. And they're saying, you can't have it because XYZ. You have to do XYZ. You can only have this once, XYZ. So this may, I'm not saying this isn't, but Spirit is really showing me that this analogy isn't necessarily something that happened. Going, you want it, or you can't have it. It may have been for some of you, but more so that analogy was more like you were shown how tangible. You were encouraged to dream. You were both getting excited. And oh yes, I'm going to do this, and you know, and then they go, yeah, when you grow up, you're going to be able to do this, and you're going to do that, and you're going to do this and that and that, and if you keep doing this, and if you keep going, and if you keep practicing, this is what's going to happen. It made it so fucking real for you, so real for you. But then they also made you feel like it wasn't possible. The indoctrination might have been around attaching what? Attaching what? Conditions. So they fed into your dreams, they fed into your wishes and hopes and desires, and you know, they created the energy and they encourage you to dream, but then in the same breath they attached conditions to those things, and those conditions were the indoctrinations. Magician. It's manifestations. They put restrictions on those dreams. There's too many cards. They put restrictions and conditions on those dreams. The World, the Empress, there's that creative feminine energy. The Four of Wands, and the Emperor. Okay. There's something to do with the feminine and masculine energies and the way in which you were introduced to those and the okay, so the restrictions and the conditions is the masculine energy. The dreaming, the hoping, the wishing, the conjuring of your dreams and goals is the feminine energy. The dreaming. And it's like they opened up the portal and then they shut it. And subsequently, throughout your life, this is what you learnt to do for yourself. So every time you open the portal to manifestation, you shut it. Because you attach restrictions and conditions to them. Subconsciously. This is not happening on a conscious level. All right, Spirit, show us how we do this. What does this look like? Okay. King of Wands and Nine of Pentacles. I'm hearing needing to have it all figured out. This ties back into yesterday's reading where you were taught to smother your own sense of success and ideas. You were never praised just for trying the damn thing. You were praised for dreaming, but then okay. I don't know how to finish that sentence. You were praised for dreaming, but then, and when I ask that question, Spirit goes, okay, if you want this, you've got to do X, Y, and Z. If you don't do X, Y, and Z, then you won't get this. So it's less about what you were specifically told, but more so the underlying energy of conditions, restrictions, expectations. Okay. This is fucking insane. Okay, bear with me, guys. This is Cinderella energy. Now, what's fucking funny is that on the way home, I was watching Natasia's reading from yesterday that she posted because I didn't finish it. Natasha Cave. I love her. I resonate with her. I think she's a Taurus and a Leo rising. I'm also a Leo rising and I have a Taurus moon. So I think if she's a Taurus sun, then she'd have her sun in the 10th house and I have my moon in the 10th house. So there's a lot of, I resonate with her readings and just her in general. And you can tell why. The astrology makes a lot of sense. But the last two weeks, her readings have been on fucking point for me. And so I was watching her reading from yesterday, and then I was listening to it as I was driving home from work, and I needed to go back like a couple of seconds, and so I did it on my steering wheel, because when I'm on Spotify listening to a podcast or something, if you go forward or back, it like skips it, or like back or forwards. But I forgot that I was on YouTube. So what I actually did was I accidentally pressed forward and I skipped to the next reading. And the next reading was today's reading, which she just posted about a Cinderella moment. Okay. And she was talking about the Cinderella movie with Brandy and Whitney Houston. And when I tell you that movie raised me, I have memories of me grabbing a kitchen chair, standing on the kitchen chair with that one scene where Brandy's like singing, in my own little corner with my own little chair, I can be whatever I want to be. And that song specifically is tying in to what we're talking about. You were taught to dream. And my mum was like there with me, teaching me things and unintentionally, I think, indoctrinating me with this movie and The Sound of Music. And it's funny because we're both musicians. So I grew up wanting to sing, wanting to be a singer. She's a singer. So this energy of not being able to make your dreams come true has followed you throughout your whole life because of the, oh, well, dream. But if you don't take it seriously, if you don't put in the hard work, if you don't this, the conditions. And these are normal things, like, you know, you can have this, but you've got to save for it, or you can have this, but you got to work hard for it. You got to put in the effort. But it was like the extent and the level and the actual conditions tied to what you were being fed, the information that was being drilled into your brain, that you were taking in and listening to over and over and over and over and over again about this dream specifically, or about your creativity, about your passions, your talents, your gifts. Was shutting it down. And so what I was hearing before I when it clicked about the Cinderella thing, I heard, you know, in Cinderella, she's like, you can go to the ball, Cinderella, but don't forget to scrub the floors. I'm done. Can I go to the ball now? Oh, yes, you can go to the ball, Cinderella, but you've got to polish all the dishes. And the list just kept going more and more and more. There was just a list following you with every little thing, and it never was good enough. It was never enough, or it was never going to be the thing. So this has, 10 of Cups. You were never just allowed to just exist or play. You lost your childhood because of this energy. And your feminine energy is stunted. Unfortunately, it is stunted, and it was not allowed to grow and develop properly or correctly because of this indoctrination and because of this Cinderella energy. The Hanged Man, it's been suspended. It's underdeveloped. High Priestess. 7 of Pentacles. This doesn't mean you have to start from the beginning. You've got a lot of really great groundwork for these manifestations, dreams, whatever your ambitions are, whatever your goals are. You've got crazy good you've got really good roots. You've got some really good groundwork. But there's a need to redevelop or realign your feminine energy. And this is what Spirit's saying. The way you do that now is by realizing how multifaceted you are, realizing how dynamic you are, realizing that you are this and that. You are this, and you are also many other things. You can dream, and you can go and play. Every time you dream up a dream or hope for hope or wish or pray or ask or attempt to manifest something, you are not required to, there are no conditions to dreaming. You are allowed to dream. You are allowed to manifest. There is nothing that you have to do other than be open and willing to take action whenever action is required on behalf of these goals and dreams. Just because you have a wish, just because you have a dream, does not mean that you I'm hearing my inner child talk to me and ask me, but why hasn't it happened yet? Why hasn't it happened then? If I'm allowed to dream it, if I'm allowed to wish it, if I'm allowed to want it, and I have wanted it for so long, I've been so patient, I've waited. Why hasn't it happened yet? Knight of Cups, that Knight of Cups energy that was in there yesterday. And I was, I've been thinking about this, how I was saying in yesterday's reading that there's this energy of someone coming through and healing something for you. Some of you, if you're resonating with this, you need to watch Cinderella. You need to watch Cinderella with Brandy and Whitney Houston. And you also need to go and watch Natisha's video. I haven't finished watching it. I haven't finished watching the video. It's funny because it's like you have been indoctrinated and conditioned to take on all responsibility of all goals, hopes, wishes, and dreams. And I feel like, I'm not sure, but I do get the sense that Spirit is saying, like, especially because yesterday I was reiterating, someone does something for you, says something for you, and it just frees you from this burden. It frees you from this indoctrination. It frees you. You can't do this for yourself. This is one thing Spirit is saying that you are not required to do, that you cannot do for yourself. Someone gifts you something, does something thoughtful, offers you something. It's a gift. It might not be, it may, but I'm not saying it's going to necessarily be a traditional gift, as in like someone's buying you a present. It could be, but whatever this person is doing for you, saying to you, it's a gift from the divine. It's divinely led, divinely guided. This is someone is a soulmate of some description. It could be maybe your romantic partner is doing something or says something and it just clicks. Something just clicks and it just heals it for you. It heals the cavity. It heals the soul. And that with this today, now with the Cinderella backstory, Spirit is giving me like, the story of Cinderella is the prince goes looking for her. And he comes and he saves her from the life that she's living. I have to go back and watch Cinderella because I wonder if like the Cinderella with Brandy and Whitney Houston, because I can't remember. I was so young, like I literally would have been 4 when I was watching this on videotape. I think even before my sister was born, maybe. And she's 4 years younger than me. Yeah, I remember watching this at the old house, my first house that I ever lived in as a child. So I literally would have been 3 or 4. So I don't know the prince situation in this in that movie. I cannot remember. I have to find a way to watch it. But there's something that someone else is doing for you or doing that impacts you and changes this. What, like, tell me more about this Knight of Cups, because it's like you need external influence. Someone has to step in order for this to be healed, and it can't happen. The Sun and the 8 of Cups. Okay, this is going into the start of yesterday's message. This happens when the next milestone that you make. So as remember I was saying yesterday, some of you are moving out of home. Some of you are embarking on a huge life milestone. Some of you are getting married. Some of you are moving in with someone, with a partner. Some of you are moving overseas. Some of you are graduating college, graduating high school. Some of you are there's like the next big step that is already in motion, that you are already aware of, that is a big step for you, that feels bittersweet. That frees you from this. That actually, I'm seeing that actually cuts this contract from whoever indoctrinated you, which frees you from their indoctrination. Nine of Swords. King of Pentacles. For some of you, this could be a partner, or just someone who someone in your life who is tasked spiritually with taking care of you in a certain way. Someone, it's a soulmate. It's a type of soulmate. And soulmates aren't just romantic. They're platonic, they're familial. Some kind of soul connected, someone you are connected with on a very deep soul level. Someone that is a soulmate to you. Frees you from this, because they have this, like, they are tasked in this life to take care of you in a certain way. And you are that person for other people in your life. Like you find, like, this person naturally has a very nurturing energy, and they're healing you through this nurturing. So an event happens, something happens that heals this trauma, this indoctrination, and it cuts the karmic cord of, like, I'm hearing severance. It severs it and allows something new to be discovered, or something new to unfold, or it just allows you to, it allows you sovereignty of yourself. yeah, I can't put my finger on. I can't. For some reason, I'm not getting anything deeper with this Knight of Cups other than it's some type of gesture, some type of... Like, some of you could even just be hanging out with a friend that you really vibe with, and they say something or do something, or they treat you with kindness, or they treat you with something. It's something simple. Like, it's happening subtly. It's happening in a mundane way that you won't know this when it happens, okay? But it heals a part of you. A big, deep part of you. This could be, for a lot of you, this is going to be a marriage. I'm just seeing marriage here. And it could just be because, like, I'm always resonating with these readings, okay? But I don't get this guidance unless I sit down to do the reading like this. It's so funny. Like, if I was to just do this for myself, these messages wouldn't come through. And that's Spirit's way of saying, hey, you're going through what other people are going through. You have a means to give the collective a message. If you feel like you need a message, it means that you and the collective need a message. So it's going to resonate. So for me, I'm getting married in 5 weeks. And I'm just really getting the sense that it's like this, the act of itself, like, so like the event of getting married, of joining in that way, this union, okay, is cutting off the old, like, I no longer then, symbolically, I no longer belong to my parents. I belong to myself, and I choose to give myself to my husband. That's where that sovereign energy is coming from. And it's like the same situation with Cinderella. She falls in love with the prince. The prince is like, I need to find her. And he gets her out of that horrible home. And she's free. So this is like, it's like this union for some of you getting married, or this union of moving in together, this union of buying a pet together. You are completing something, you are doing something that involves contracts, okay? Or someone is gifting you something that is a big deal. Someone is honoring you in a very big way, is what I'm getting. And the way that you are being honored, it has something to do with tangible, material, or just like earthly 3D things. So it could be maybe someone's buying you a car, maybe someone's, you know, letting you live in their house rent free. Someone is taking care of you in some way, and it's a literal thing that's happening, but it's also symbolic of something. So like, if we use the marriage, for example, we are contractually choosing to belong to each other. And the word, like, not in that way, but like it's a choice, right? For us, at least. It hasn't always been that way in history, but for us it's a choice. And for some reason, it's like, in this situation, like for you, it's like, because of that, him then as my husband, as my, he's a sort of caretaker for me, just as I am for him. There is someone in your life, and it does not have to be romantic. It can be platonic. It can be familial. There is somebody in your life where you guys have a soul contract that they nurture and heal you. And you do the same for them, but in different ways, okay? But they take care of you in a specific way, and they are really going to step soon. Like, soon they are really going to step into that energy of doing something to take care of you, to nurture you, to love on your soul. Okay? And it's really going to change things for you. It's changing the game, and it's freeing you up. It's cutting off it's removing all blockages. Severance. It's severing any attachments to these old programming, indoctrination, thought patterns. They're tending to your wounds. They're freeing you of burdens just from this one act. And it's a mundane, simple thing. It may be a gesture, but it's the gesture itself is an act that has a higher, deeper, more dramatic impact and meaning on a spiritual and soul level for you. This person, for once, you are not the catalyst in other people's lives. For once, someone is catalyzing something for you, and that is what was written. That is what was part of the contract. It's not the only thing that they are here in your life to do, but it's a big part. It's a huge part of that contract, that soul contract. Wow. I hope that resonated. If it did, let me know down below. Like this video and subscribe if you are so willing. And don't forget to check out Natisha Cave's videos, because if this resonated with you, that one, her one from today that I'm posting this, I believe like a couple of hours ago, will absolutely resonate. I'm gonna go watch it now.